to share with you just a few thoughts how I think through things when I improvise straight out of a hymn book. So a 4-part harmony hymnal, and how I go about this. It does help that I can read bass clef, so I can read the treble clef notes as well as the bass clef notes and get an idea of the chords. If you're not sure of the chords in your piece, my first recommendation is that you take the time to figure out what the chord structure is behind your melody. And if you can work, you might just grab a lead sheet off of the internet as well as your hymnal and put the two of them together, as long as they're in the same key signature. But basically what I would do is I run through the melody once first. Don't try to add anything that time through. And then the second time through, I might play with the melody line as well as the alto line. And then I'm watching for places where I can add scales or just a stepping tone, one note in between to connect notes together, changing the rhythm, changing bow strokes per note, and different basic things like this. You really don't have to add very much to make your piece or your whatever you're playing sound very interesting. So that, I think, is the most important tip with improvisation, is less is more. And so that's what I would try first, is just to try, add 2 different things and see how you like it, and then play from there, adding more or less. Record yourself so that you can hear what it sounded like instead of just going off of what you remember hearing, right? So be able to play it back to yourself is really helpful. So I'm just going to run it. I've already done my basic run through, so I'm going to run it for you. I haven't practiced this one, and so I am truly experimenting on the spot for you, and I'll just show you how I play with that alto line to see if I can add some scale runs or just some passing tones to add a little bit of color and texture and interest, basically. So we'll see what I come up with here. Okay, so I made some mistakes. I had some notes that didn't sound very good, but this is how I'm learning what's going to work and what's not. So let's try it again now. Okay, so now you can see already that it's going to help me a lot if I have that basic melody line recorded. So I'll often do that with my piano because I can play both, but you can just record the violin part and then play back against that, and that helps too. But then you can get more and more ideas of what's going to fit, what's going to work. I think my best advice to you is don't be afraid to sound bad and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Keep those 3 things basically in mind. Less is more. Don't be afraid to sound bad. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and just roll with it. And if you're in a situation where you're improvising on the spot or live, you have to roll with it. even the notes that sound bad or sound like mistakes, you just play on, and as long as you move to another note that does sound good, your audience will still enjoy the music that you're making. So just don't sit on a note that sounds bad. Just keep moving. Find something else that's going to sound better, and it will kind of flow together and actually sound good in the end overall. So, and the more you do it, the better you get at playing with that. So just a little bit of encouragement for you if you want to improvise straight out of a hymnal.